Hello, everyone. I am Matthew Thomas. This is Super Cool Radio. Thank you so much for tuning in. And, I got some really great guests joining me in person, making their third appearance here on Super Cool Radio. Please welcome my friends, Magic Hat. Nice to see you all again. I know we got quite a bit to discuss. But before we get to all of that, Keith, a question for you. Do you have a mandolin or steel guitar yet?
I have a mandolin, yes.
It finally came in from the last interview? Okay, good.
Yes.
Okay.
I got the replacement.
Well, very good. Do you have a steel guitar yet, then?
I do not. I'm still just kind of looking. But Mark does.
Yeah, I do. He's the steel guitar guy.
Okay. All right, well, maybe you should work on that.
He knew I was just kind of looking for one back the last time we had talked.
Right. I watched the last interview, make sure I wasn't repeating questions. All right, so now, on to some serious stuff about Magic Hat. So as you can see, currently we have a new member of Magic Hat since the last interview. So how did Mark join the band and become the guitarist? Mark, would you like to take that?
I just heard that they were looking for a guitar player. I had been trying to put a band together with some friends. That kind of fell apart, and was kind of wanting to get away from playing covers and stuff like that. And so I heard that they were looking for somebody, and then I just kind of approached them, and it went from there, pretty much.
Right on, right. Did you have any thoughts, like, prior to joining Magic Hat about, any expectations or anything like that, or you just showed up and rocked?
Listened to their material and liked what I heard. So pretty much, yeah. I didn't have a whole lot of expectations. I could tell from the recordings that they were decent. So I and I wasn't let down. So that's good.
Hey, well, I'm
definitely adequate.
Adequate, great term to use. So, last thing about for Mark, and then we'll be moving on to some more stuff, including new music from Magic Hat. We're going to hear from them about that as well. But Mark, what was the first Magic Hat song you learned on guitar?
Ooh, gosh, I'm not sure. Maybe Carry On. Might have been Carry On. I can't remember. I came to practice with 3 songs, and I can't remember exactly. And I think Kicking Up Dust was one for sure. Carry On, Kicking Up Dust, and I'm not sure what the other one was. But yeah, I mean, it was just because I've done a lot of auditions in life, and these guys knew too. It's like there was no point in me learning 12 songs and coming in here because within the first, realistically, you kind of know within the first song if it's really going to happen or not. So I didn't really beat myself up learning a whole bunch of songs to start out. But then once it worked, then I got busy learning songs.
Oh, no, right on.
The crazy thing is that when Mark showed up, he was here, kind of talked, and him and I kind of looked at each other. And 26 years ago, him and I worked at the same facility in different departments or whatever. But it was like, we used to work together,
Yeah.
But it was just crazy, And then,
come to find out, I know his brother I've known your brother for 15 years or better, probably. So yeah, it's like a small world. And I, never met Keith before, but his brother would talk. Oh yeah, my brother. I'm in this band with my brother. He's saying all this stuff. He's always talking great about his brother. So finally got to meet him.
Well, it's the kind of the unknown like connections you make from meeting somewhere, knowing someone's brother for 15 or so years. No, that's cool though. So for you guys, like, how was it, like, the first time meeting Mark and like having him as part of the band?
It was really good, actually. I was doing all the posting for looking for a new guitar player when Jim left, and we had gone probably a month or more, a couple months at least, before we even hooked up with Mark. And it was kind of, disappointing. But Paul Williams, because I said, who knows a guitar player that would fit in our band? I just kind of posted it that way, and Paul Williams said, Mark Pitcher, and I'm like, okay. Hooked him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how I found him.
So thanks, Paul.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. Thanks, Paul. You wanted that shout out. Here it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The nice thing, it was the one and only guitar player that we tried out.
Yeah,
first one worked.
Yeah, came forward. Nobody said anything or gave us any idea. I put out the traditional ads for guitar play, band looking for guitar player established, blah, 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 and got nothing back. So it was kind of, well, maybe we won't find a guitar player. But we did, and it worked out great. And it's been super cool fun since.
It was kind of the same. I was kind of in the same position. I'd been trying for, almost 2 years to put this band together with friends. And the whole idea was I wanted to have fun, maybe play some old songs that we used to play and, get out and not play a lot, but, just get out and have some fun. And it all just kind of imploded. And I reached a point where I was like, God, I don't know if I'm ever even going to get in a band again. I said, maybe I'm done with bands. Maybe that's it I've got an acoustic duo with a buddy of mine and we play wineries and stuff. But it's like, as far as being in a rock band and, like say, playing original materials, a bonus because I was in a cover band for a long time, played in the area, all the clubs. And before that, though, when I first moved back to the area in the mid 90s, I was in an all original band called Spiny Norman. And we could do 3 sets of all original material. We just kept writing and writing and writing. So it's really cool to be going back to that and writing stuff and just playing our own stuff again. I'm having a blast.
Anybody that knows us, that it's all about having fun. I've always said, if it's not fun, I don't want to do it, and we're having fun, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I'm glad you guys are having a lot of fun, and with the new guitarist, that you guys are still working hard and writing and recording new material. So I'm glad you guys are still having a lot of fun with everything, even with the member lineup change as well.
No hiccup, no change. Actually, we were going to record before Jim left, but we didn't have enough time because he had set a date before we thought he was going to move, and kind of worked out that way. So we postponed it again. COVID was the first postponement, then that. And then when we got our new guitar player up to speed, we pushed the idea this year to accomplish the goal of recording a full album of material, and it's worked out real good so far. And most of the material we got, and he brought a little bit of material along with, and we produced a brand new song right before we went in too, actually, didn't we? We did 2 new songs right before we went in too. So we had some fresh material, not just the stuff we planned on recording already. So
that is awesome to hear. Keith, do you want to add?
I was just going to say it's going to be new as far as recorded, but these songs have, they've been around for a while. They just never made it in the studio yet, but we're glad they made it this time, I'll tell you.
COVID hit, we didn't record, and then Jim left, we didn't record, and then now we're recording. So it's been, a work in progress for several years now.
Well, I'm glad you guys are finally having the chance to write and record new music. So I do want to talk about that. How is that process going? Where are you guys in that process, and where have you been recording the music? Sorry, a lot of questions I just asked.
Well, as of the end of July, we have done all but one backup vocals for all the songs. So everything is in the can, as they say. We're now going to begin the mixing process here, and hopefully that won't be as long a process as the recording has been. And then mastering, and then who knows what. So we don't have a set date for release. We're looking at sometime this year. Hopefully everything goes good. We'll have something out there before the end of the year. If not, then definitely we're going to gear up for next year, and we're going to try to play a lot more shows than we did this year. I think we played 3 or 4 shows this year, guys.
So far,
yeah, because we've been doing the recording. We really wanted to focus on getting this album done, putting together a really good solid album worth of material, and we did just that.
This is the most we've ever recorded.
We're proud to have Danny Lehrman come and play saxophone on one of our songs this year. Special guest, did a fantastic job.
Yeah, that's a big bit of news there.
I made first, yeah. Well, first time I'm here.
It was going to be a surprise.
Well,
Yeah, that's okay.
Hey, what? Yeah, this is why you have to watch Super Cool Radio, because we're just full of surprises.
You heard it here.
You'll want to hear it. You have to listen to the whole album though, because we're not going to tell you which song it is.
So, how was it like making that connection? Sorry, I couldn't think of a question there. Did you know of him before, for the years?
We were in the studio. This came up while we were in the studio. One of the last things we thought of before we went in the studio was for this song, and actually Keith was the one that said, hey, this would really be icing the cake to have a sax part in it. And we all went,
Dave pushed it.
And Dave pushed it, and I talked to somebody, and they kind of fell through, and he went and talked to Danny, and Danny's like, yeah, let me hear it, and we sent it to him, what we had so far, and he liked it a lot, and did a really just an awesome job on the sax part. First time we heard it was like, wow, that's exactly what we were thinking of. So thank you, Danny.
He's a true professional. Travels all over the world. He just got back from Amsterdam. Out in Texas, Mexico, the guy's all over the place, but he took the time out to cut tracks for our song, Breathe. And you'll have to give it a listen when we get this thing released.
It was really cool, man. Definitely.
Cool. It sounds amazing, and I am really happy for you guys. I'm definitely looking forward to checking it out and giving it a listen, especially the sax part as well.
I think there's going to be, for people that know the previous Magic Hat material, there's going to be a couple of things on here that they're going to be a little surprised at, I think, as far as what we're doing, trying to expand the music. I mean, we still do heavy stuff, don't get me wrong, but we also, we've kind of brought a little bit different flavor to a couple of songs, so I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Diversification, right?
Yeah.
So what kind of elements did you bring to this album, this set of songs?
Not quite as far as what do you mean?
Like musical element, like it was like rock and roll, funk, jazz, like that kind of stuff.
It's pretty much rock, but I don't know. The song that Danny plays on, I mean, that's rock, but not real. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a little bit more jazz, kind of.
He plays a mandolin on The Well and Shining Back. That's an unusual, what would you call that? I don't know, kind of Led Zeppelin.
Kind of reminiscent of, stuff that you would have heard on Zeppelin. Yeah, Zeppelin.
Zeppelin-y,
right.
But a little folky.
Yeah, one of the mandolin tunes I played slide lap steel on. Mm-hmm. So that song's going to have a lot of elements to it. A lot of there's a lot of rhythmic stuff in a center breakdown kind of a thing. So it's going to be a little, like I say, there's going to be a few songs on there that are a little different, but there's going to be a lot of stuff that people are going to be.
I think for people who like our heavy stuff, there's going to be some songs in there that are going to just dig a lot.
Yeah.
For people who are looking for something a little different, expanding, there's definitely something on this album. It really is a broader album than we've done in the past, where we've kind of stuck with a heavy and then maybe a ballad. This is kind of more diverse, So I really think, and there's nothing I would say that it would be like, that we were like, man, could have done this or that or the other. No, these are the songs that we picked out, and I'm glad we did, because they really do. They do fit together.
Cover.
There is one cover. One cover.
Dio, Black Sabbath. That's one of our heavy rockers, and we opened the album with Mark's original.
That's a heavy song.
I mean, we wrote it here in practice, so it's like, I just came up with a riff and you guys went on it.
Right, but it's kind of cool. He got a chance to put an influence in this, not just doing the songs that we
wrote. It just tells me that what we're going to write in the future with Mark is going to be just something.
About that too.
Yeah,
so
that's something
once we get this all done, and that's the next thing to start working on.
Oh, yeah.
Keep moving forward.
So we open with a rocker, end with a rocker, and everything in between is diversification.
That sounds a great way of describing it. I'm very excited to hear some new music from you guys. I know it's been a while because you said, the postponements, but I think it's going to be very well worth it. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope everyone watching or listening to this interview is as well. So for anyone who hasn't seen a Magic Hat before, what can they expect for the 2024 version of Magic Hat? Or sorry, 23 and 24. How about that?
Yeah, halfway through 23. Just a lot of rock and roll, man. I mean, I never saw them before, so I can't judge the way they were before I joined them. I just know what I bring to it. So I don't know. It's just,
I think when we come out, people can tell that we're having fun and we're rocking,
well, yeah,
and they like it, and it's that they get involved as it's fun.
This, has questions about local regional bands out there. Go see them. Go see us. Go see other. There's a lot of really good music out there. here in this area in Michiana that people should go see. I tell you, with us, we go out there every time, whether we got a full house or just 5 people who want to see us. We put the same show on. Guarantee you're going to see the same show from us. We have fun. We enjoy what we do. And I know after this album, we've got a lot of material. You know, we got 2 EPs, single, and this new album. We're going to be able to do bigger shows, hopefully more regional shows. And that's what we're looking for in 24.
When you guys come out, if there's 5 people in the crowd, you play like there's 60,000.
Said if it's not fun, we're not doing it. Right. So we're still doing it. So it's fun.
Well, I'm glad to hear.
Have fun with us.
Exactly.
No, for sure. I'm glad to hear you guys are still having fun. And of course, a big message I always push, anytime I can, support local music, support the local venues. Go out and see a show. It'll be fun.
There's new venues out in Mishawaka, and obviously Cheers is bringing back bands. They're bringing in touring bands and a variety of different music, which is nice to see. I expect there to be more for next year too. I really do. So
live music. Go out and see live music,
rock, jazz,
whatever,
blues, whatever you fancy. There's a place locally for you to go see local and regional musicians here that are very talented.
Plus, we're in a good area. You're close. I mean, you're what, an hour and a half from Chicago? You're a couple hours from Indianapolis. I mean, you're not that far from Detroit. It's like you could actually go see some regional shows. And it's not an outrageous thing to do it. It's not like you have to get in the car and take a long trip.
Love to come here. They would. If we have places now for them to play again.
Yeah. No, for sure. And again, we are in a good spot. There's big cities nearby, and again, you can discover a new band that you turn out that you love because you went to see them at a show. So always keep that in mind and support local music as well. So. So another question for you guys, and then we'll start wrapping this up in a little bit. So a little bit more of a challenging question when I ask this to bands, but I'm curious for you guys, since I haven't asked you guys before, and this is your 3rd interview. What is your favorite song to perform live?
Probably Carry On, because it's our opening song, and it just gets the juices flowing, and it's a strong, powerful song, and yeah, it's fun to play. It gets you going.
Mark, for you?
I don't know. I go to Kicking Up Dust. It's just like probably because it's one of the first songs I learned, and it's just there's a lot about the song that I like. I like the feel of it, and just it's a heavy song, but it's still got some something more to it than just a bunch of noise. Yeah. So Kicking Up Dust, I like playing that one live. It's fun to play solos on that one too.
That's my favorite song by you guys. Kicking Up Dust. That's my favorite. Dave and Keith, what about for you guys?
We're trying to remember what it is.
He's trying to remember what it is. When my vocals are on and everything, if Neon Nights, just because when it hits and you see the reaction, and you feel it in the air, you just feel it.
That's the cover we did on this album, by the way.
When you feel it. That's one of my favorites to play live.
And his performance on that song on the album, go listen to it. When it's out, go listen to it.
Open Wide. That's my favorite.
Yeah. That's one of my favorites too, yeah.
When we ask people, what their favorite song is, it's a variety of different ones, which tells me that we're doing something right, It's not all on one song where, you have some bands, it's all these, just that one song that I like. No. When we ask a group of people, everybody, even us, if they wanted to play, if everyone to hear.
And for some reason, people like to hear us do AC/DC too. I don't know why, but
why? Well, at least it's a Bon Scott version, though.
Of course. Well, I can do a little bit of the other two, but
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
And now we're going to open for an AC/DC tribute band by playing AC/DC. No, we're not church. We would never do that.
We'll just do Dio instead.
Dio.
You guys got plenty of material to pull from anyway, so it would be funny. But also, not good.
No, we wouldn't do that.
No.
We're good guys. We wouldn't do that.
That will not happen.
No, you guys are respectable guys, and I know you guys wouldn't do that.
I do balls to the walls,
Different band. No, different band.
Yeah, that is accepted. I don't know if you guys have heard of Airborne. They kind of they sound very.
I've heard that.
I saw them last year. Yeah, it was a damn good show. So maybe bust out some Airborne. All right. So I got only a few more things before we wrap this. So what's I know you guys work on the new album and booking more shows. So like, what's kind of the rest of this year looking like for Magic Hat and then early 2024?
Well, that's a good question. We've really been focused on not only doing this album, but doing it right, getting it done, and taking our time on it. The last 2 EPs we did them all in a couple months. We've spent several months just doing the tracking to make sure that we were happy with what was down and re-reviewed. And we've taken a lot more time with this album, which is a good thing. So we probably will continue that, but definitely once this album is done and complete and we have an idea when it's coming out, we're definitely going to gear up for 2024. We want to do more regional shows, get out there a little bit more, try to expand our horizons, as they say. Of course, locally, I'm going to try to get us on some of the things that the city and the county does and stuff like that, because we've never done that before. And I think it's something, since we've got enough material, I think we should be able to do a show, when they have those best weeks or whatever, park weekly thing, we can go play an hour and a half if they needed us to, so we'll have the material.
Definitely want to play out more.
Definitely,
and get involved with
year.
more
2024 is really
in the community.
What we're looking for in the community and regionally. Getting out there, playing with some bigger shows, maybe even try to find a festival or two in the area that we'd fit in for next year. That's the goal for next year. That's what we're looking at, and of course, probably by then, we'll be looking at writing more music and keeping the ball rolling.
Well, right on. I hope you guys, everything goes very well for you guys with the releasing the new music and finding some killer shows to play as well. So, as I'm closing out this interview, where are the best place to find Magic Hat online?
Oh, well, online, if you go to magichat.rocks, that's the simple place. That'll take you right to our YouTube channel. There's all our songs out there, our lyric videos that we've created so far. We'll have more lyric videos for this album when it comes out. Of course, you can go to any of your favorite streaming services, find our music, just look up Magic Hat, and you'll find us. That's where to go.
We're also on Facebook.
Yeah, we're on Facebook. Yeah, everybody, Facebook. There's a Twitter.
I
Magic
don't
Hat
Facebook.
Music. He doesn't Facebook, but if you do, you can find us on Facebook. Just look up Magic Hat, not the beard, the band. Okay.
Well, I will leave some links for Magic Hat in the description of this podcast. Please check out and support them. See them live. They got, obviously they have some great shows, plus more shows booking next year. So keep an eye out for that as well. But always a great time hanging out with you guys, and I hopefully look forward to rocking out with you guys at a future show as well. So for all of Magic Hat of Keith, Dave, Mark, and Tom, I'm your host as always, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for watching and listening to Super Cool Radio. And remember, stay frosty. Ow!